He regrets losing you. You stayed quiet and now karma is speaking. He thought your silence meant you were weak. That's where he made his biggest mistake. When you stopped talking, he felt relief more than anything else. He did not have to explain himself anymore. He did not have to answer your questions or deal with your emotions. In his mind, your quietness made everything easier. He told himself that you were overwhelmed, you were overreacting before. And now that you have gone silent, he convinced himself that things were finally calm. What he did not understand was that your silence was not peace, it was detachment. You did not go quiet because you had nothing to say. You went quiet because you realized you were speaking to someone who had already chosen not to hear you. There is a difference between someone who cannot understand and someone who refuses to understand. You felt that difference clearly. Even if you could not explain it at the time. Instead of repeating yourself, and draining your energy, you made a decision. You stepped back without noise, without drama, and without giving him the reaction he expected. At first, he underestimated that decision. He believed you would come back. He thought your silence was away, but still returned. He was used to your patience. He was used to your effort. He was used to being the one who tried to fix things. So he waited, not because he cared deeply at that moment, but because he assumed you would break before he ever had to. But this time was different. You did not come back. You did not send a message. You did not create an excuse to reconnect. You stayed quiet in a way he had never experienced from you before. And slowly, that silence began to shift something in him that he could not imagine. The absence of your presence started to feel louder than your words ever did. He began to notice the space you used to feel without trying. The conversations that once felt easy now felt empty. The attention he used to receive without effort was no longer there. It was not just about missing you, it was about realizing that what you gave him was not something he could replace easily. This is how karma works when it decides to speak. It does not rush in loudly. It settles in quietly and forces a person to sit with what they have done. He is now replaying moments he once ignored. The time you tried to explain how you felt and he brushed it aside. The time you needed reassurance and he gave you distance instead. The moments where you showed understanding and he responded with inconsistency. All of it is returning, but this time he is saying it clearly. He made he make a what makes it worse for him is the way you left. You did not fight him. You did not expose him. You did not try to make him feel guilty in the moment. You simply removed yourself. That kind of exit leaves no room for excuses. There is nothing for him to argue against. There is no there's no dramatic ending he can use to justify his behavior. There is always silence, and in that silence, the truth is becoming louder it's becoming louder every day. He is also starting to understand something he did not value before. You were not just someone who was there. You were someone who cared deeply, someone who tried, someone who stayed even when things were not perfect. That kind of presence is rare, but he treated it like it was ordinary. Now that it is gone, he is feeling the difference in ways he cannot ignore. At the same time, your life is no longer centered around him. You are no longer waiting for explanations or hoping for clarity from someone who could not give it to you. You are learning to trust your decisions. You are understanding that your silence was not a loss. It was a boundary. It was the moment you stopped allowing confusion to have a place in your life. To have a place in your life, you are becoming more grounded, more aware, and more aligned with what you deserve, not in a louder or performative way, but in a quiet confidence that does not need validation. You are no longer chasing answers. You are no longer questioning your worth. You are moving forward, and that moment is something he can feel even from a distance. His regret is not sudden. It builds over time. It grows in quiet moments, in comparison, and in a realization that what he had with you was not something he could easily find again. He is starting to understand that losing you was not a simple mistake. It was a consequence of how he chose to treat you. But here is the truth he is now facing. Regret does not bring people back. Understanding does not reverse actions. Realization comes, but they often come late. And by the time he fully understands what you meant to him, you know you are no longer in the same place emotionally. You did not lose anything by staying quiet. You protected your peace. You removed yourself from confusion. You chose yourself in a situation where you were no longer being valued the way you deserve. That decision is now speaking louder than anything you could have said. He regrets losing you. That part is real. But what matters more is that you finally stopped losing yourself. And that is the kind of ending that does not need noise to be understood.